Uh, hey there, folks. It's the E-Man here. Yes, I apologize. There's been videos for a while. Kind of family stuff. Something going on with my car. It's gonna have to go get looked at, and yeah. Anyway, yeah, it's been There's this things came up, well, whatever. But yeah, okay, yeah. Yes, and I hope you all had a good Thanksgiving. I was over at my older sister's house, and we had some nice meal. Of course, like those were other years where I was in other states, so it was kind of hard to see family and whatnot. Had a nice 4 days off, kind of like sat on my butt most of the time, and I went to the dump and stuff, but I also played some games. There was a lot of interesting games that came out. But I guess I wanted to simply talk about, I could talk about all the games that have been coming out. We're getting a lot of remasters of RPGs. Isn't a bad thing, but I have a giant backlog of games I haven't been able to play because I got so wrapped up playing. I've been playing like Lies of P like forever. But anyway, some pickups. Yes, I went into Game Citadel, a nice gaming store. I had gone to GameStop to look see if they had any deals, and I remember being in there and most of the lights weren't working, and I'm like, oh well, yeah. And the rumors I've heard is that corporate GameStop isn't really spending any money to fix their computer systems or fix the lights. Yeah, half the lights were out and it was practically dark in there, and I'm like, seriously? And then they're talking about how half their staff has quit or something. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, I went to my game store, Game Citadel, a nice local place. They opened another store in Orono. I'm kind of glad because, as running game shops are kind of expensive. There's Bull Moose Music as well. Some cool pickups there. Alright. Yes, I guess they were putting out a lot of stuff that they've had in their back catalog. Alright, here we go. Let's see. Well, lately, as you can see back there, I have a old school television because I've been getting light gun games. I've been playing a lot on the PS2 light gun. Of course, you need the old television. Yeah, I think I'm trying to get a Sinden light gun and then try to see how that works on more television. But anyway, some Sega CD games I guess they had. Yeah. See, first one is Mad Dog McCree. I don't know if a lot of you know about this game. Originally an arcade game. I think it's one of the earlier light gun games, made back in 1990. I remember playing this in the arcade. Rather complicated game. I really like the kind of the Wild West and stuff. The issue with this, of course, is it's heavily pixelated. I tried playing it on my newer television because I have the new, the Mega SG thing, and a lot of settings I still couldn't. And it's just a lot of these because this is full motion video, of course. There are better versions of this, but I got out my old school television, and it actually looks a little bit better. I was able to get it to look better. Of course, I don't have the light gun. You can use, you can use the control pad, the Mega Mouse, the Menacer, or most Sega compatible guns. Because I think you can use the Sega Genesis, the Justifier that came with Lethal Enforcers, I think, or whatever. I heard I've seen the Wii version looks perfect. It's almost arcade perfect. Of course, the Wii doesn't have the problems that... Yeah, I don't know why the Wii seemed to figure out how to do that, but I wasn't really cared. see. Yes. Open Up My Horizons. A game I kind of liked playing, I think, when I was younger. We got NBA Jam. Yeah, it's not the Championship Edition. I tried looking up like how much this game cost, and I couldn't really find it. I found the Sega Saturn, but not the Sega CD version. I've had issues having it work, but I mean these discs are old. I had to kind of wipe them off or whatever. But and all these games I've got are in these big cases that are like are complete, and these are the official games. These aren't like burned ones that I've shown off before. But yeah, it's got instruction booklet, everything. Of course, these cases don't hold up well, so of course you can see that they don't stick together very well. They're kind of busted. I think this game, Rise of the Dragon, is probably the bestest one I have. Besides my Echo the Dolphin on the Sega CD, it's like complete. Doesn't have a scratch on the disc, like perfect. Now I think this game is kind of like Snatcher, because you're kind of a detective. You got to figure out who this bad guy is. It kind of has the same, the guy in a coat with a gun, and it's like, and it's like that too, because you got to investigate stuff. Yeah, I should really do a video of me talking about that game Snatcher, because I've been able to get it to work on the emulation. I can play original Sega CD games on it. Emulation's pretty good. I mean, great. Oh, see my kitty in my game chair. Yeah, I was going to get rid of that chair, but she loves it. She won't sit in the chair I'm sitting in now, so it makes me wonder if this chair isn't as comfortable as I thought it was. Anyway, yeah, it's Rise of the Dragon. Sci-fi adventure thing, pretty much. Oh yeah, the Mad Dog McGree game works with the light gun. As it says, like a light gun game. I've seen videos, especially of shout out to Teddy Rubskin, who had shown that he had trouble getting the gun to work. I don't know if it was because he was too close to the screen, maybe. But I mean, yeah, these things are old. Like, I mean, I have, I've gotten a Hyperkin like NES, and I've been able to play Duck Hunt. Of course, I've had to hook it to the old school television. I have an N64, and I had issues trying to get better picture from it. I know that the company Analog is coming out with an N64, I guess. Sometime this year. I have to be prepared to go and maybe get a pre-order for it or something. Yeah, because N64 is, N64 emulation is relatively good, but I do like to try to play on original hardware. And I would plug the N64 into that old television, and it looks better than it does. A lot of these older systems, especially the N64, did not have it didn't have RGB. The best it could do was S-Video. So Nintendo seemed kind of lazy with the N64 and didn't really do much. So the graphics just have not aged very well, or it's so dark, or whatnot. Oh, I think something I got a while ago was one of those Sonic holding things. Yeah, so you can put your cell phone on it. Yes, I know I do have a old iPhone here. You can tell by it doesn't have 50 gazillion cameras on it. One of the older ones. You get off my butt and get a new one, I guess, but yeah, Sonic, he doesn't have, he isn't missing an arm or a nose. Yeah, the nose break off pretty easily. Yeah, something I got from my childhood. I didn't used to get a lot of toys as a kid, because, I usually birthday, Christmas is when I would get toys. Not like kids nowadays that seem to get toys all the time. But Baxter Stockman as the Fly. Yeah, I'm pretty much assuming that he's a reference to, that classic sci-fi horror movie, the Fly. And he has a little fly swatter. He's got a little fly, his fly hands and something. Yeah. Of course, he was human. Of course. Yeah. Anyways. And you've probably seen this guy before, but it's Orko. The way he looks in the Netflix series that they're going to bring back, but whatever. I love Orko, so it's interesting to see him in a different look. Yeah, and a lot of you may think that Vivi from Final Fantasy IX, which he could possibly have been influenced by that because he reminds me of him a little bit. Anyway, yes, and the mother got a Happy Meal toy here. It's of Mario Kart. I don't know what it is, but Mario Kart just seems to be the best kart game. I love Diddy Kong Racing on the N64. I was able to get a lot of those games recently. Yeah. Oh, yeah, and I think another Goodwill got me one of those lights, but the lighting seems to be pretty good in here right now. Yeah, we're getting a little break from the cold. I guess it's supposed to be supposed to be 50 degrees tomorrow and rain. Yeah, I think like the other night it was like 18 or something, so we're getting kind of odd weather or whatnot. Yeah. Well, I guess. I mean, we'll make this video a little bit longer. It's kind of an update video, I guess. I guess I'll talk about some of the stuff that, or some stuff I've been playing and whatnot. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, there's like the RoboCop. Is it called Rogue City? I forgot what it's called. But yeah, I've been playing that. That's kind of good. It's made by the same people that made RoboCop. And I think one of the extra game companies that worked on this also worked on Lies of P, I believe. Yeah, there's a major one, and then there's some other name on it. And I feel something that's a reference to RoboCop, maybe. I don't know, because there's like this puppet cop that you gotta fight. And surprise, surprise, his name is Murphy. And I didn't think anything of it, and then I'm like, oh yeah, Murphy's the last name of the character from RoboCop, of course. Cop gets killed and comes back. Kind of a cool game. It seems to make it, like the second movie, like the third movie never happened. Kind of misordering around with 1 and 2, which is okay with me. Yeah, the original RoboCop, I remember the scene where where Alex Murphy gets killed. It's pretty intense. It's like, wow. I mean, even for an R-rated movie, it was a little bit intense. Yes. So I'm kind of glad that my dad would not let me see it. Well, and there's supposedly a scene in RoboCop 2 that's probably even more messed up, but anyway. Then, of course, we've got some a remaster. It's like Star Ocean: The Second Story, which is one of my favorite PS1 RPGs. It was it was like Inks, back in the days, Squaresoft was kind of the king of the RPG, so it was weird to have another company. Well, ironically, this company's already been bought by Squaresoft, so we have Square Inks, is what they're called now, but yeah. There was, of course, a remaster a few years ago on the PSP, which added voice acting and some anime scenes. This game, pretty much, it uses some of the original, the pixel forms when they're walking around, but all the scenery and stuff is this weird kind of photorealistic 3D look, which is cool, and then extra, extra production value added to it. It's pretty cool to see some of the, it's like, it seems like they took everything that was great about that game and kind of changed it. There's no more random battles. Some of the layout in dungeons is a little more of a different kind of feel to it. But I feel ultimately it was stuff that needed to be done. And I noticed that a lot of save points right before bosses refill your HP and MP. Because I remember playing the old school game and whatnot. Let's see. Well, yeah, and then of course Lies of P that came out. So there's been... Lies of P was kind of a surprise game to me. Yeah, I've played Demon Souls, Dark Souls, Elden Ring, and I really try to play them. I mean, I guess Elden Ring is the difficulty, and then plus I have to figure out where I get the special weapons or, get the special items to upgrade my weapons and whatnot. I've heard about people that beat Elden Ring 3 times, and I'm like, I haven't even beaten it once yet. Yeah, I defeated the snake dude, but it's so hard to figure out where you're even supposed to go. Because there was some boss I was stuck on, but then I figured out I could just run past the boss and get to the snake dude's level. And there's a special weapon you can get that boosts your attack against the boss. So he's one of the more easier ones. I don't really think there's any easy bosses, but... Yeah, and I've played Dark Souls, but I always get kind of distracted or I get kind of bored, especially when I die too many times, and I'm like, having to fight the same enemies again and again and again is just... Whoa. Yeah. And when you get tons of souls or runes or whatever, and you're like... think you're so cool, all of a sudden something comes out of nowhere and just kills you. Like, in those games, especially Lies of P, I have to, block and slowly walk because you never know when an enemy's going to pop out and kill you. And then it's like, and, beyond the save point, you have to go back. Well, Lies of P seems to alleviate a lot of that. There's a lot of, makes it a little more, easier. Oh yeah, recently we of course had the Jurassic Park game collection. One of the games I kind of wish that was on this was the Game Gear Jurassic Park game. I don't know why that's not on here. And I noticed that a lot of these games are made by Ocean. Kind of interesting, because I know that the Ocean made the Untouchables video game. Yeah, Ocean's another one of those companies that seems to make a whole pile of games like LJN, or is it LJN? Yeah, that's what it is. I believe that's what it is, or did I get that wrong? Yeah, I watch all the major YouTubers who don't think I don't. Yeah, of course, Lies of P. I mean, oof. Yeah, do I need to level up? Do I need different items? Upgrade my weapons. A lot of that's a lot easier in Lies of P than it is in other games. Well, Demon Souls is fun, but I'm a little frustrated. I get frustrated. I will admit, I have gotten frustrated. I've thrown the controller because I've gotten so frustrated with Lies of P. But, ultimately I feel like it's really worthwhile. Oh, not only that, I've actually beaten Lies of P. So, I've beaten it once, so I'm doing my second playthrough. I'm going to try to get the good ending. I got the bad ending. The bad ending isn't too hard to get, but yeah, that final boss can go jump in a lake. Well, I've noticed a lot of the bosses on Lies of P, it's very hard to get anywhere near them without taking tons of damage. Well, there's some bosses in Lies of P that are like a walk in the park if you make sure you level up. Level up, you've got throwing items. It's... I love the leveling system and a lot of the spiffy things about it. Well, I guess I should probably talk about some other controversial stuff I've heard about. I've heard about Gerard the Completionist, and well, it's kind of sad to hear about that. His charities, and supposedly he's been lying, and I don't know. I want to wait to hear what he has to say for himself. You know, I really don't know. Yeah. Well, and on that is charities to dementia. Yes, I do have a family member that happens to be suffering from that, and I can tell you it is a very difficult thing. So, to think that he would use that and kind of lie about it and not be donating money to it is really irritating. But, I mean, maybe he has a good explanation. Maybe he can't get access to the bank account. I don't know. Family drama or something. But it's unusual that he hasn't really officially come out and said anything. Yeah, I don't care if he tries to come turn my channel off, you know. I like him. I've appreciated his videos. I'll still watch his videos. But it's kind of hard when you feel like someone has lied and for 10 years and then seems to say that he has no idea about it. But anyway, I wish Gerard the best, and I hope that maybe this is a misunderstanding, or we're going to get an explanation, or maybe someone he works for. I know that a lot of the people that works with him are his friends, so, you know, you hire people you can't fire, but, yeah, but beside the point. Yeah, so I'm not going to say he's an evil, terrible person, or whatever. But, yeah, that's just way it is. It's been kind of a major thing. I know everyone's talking about it and whatever. Yeah. I've noticed like Review Tech USA, I think Rich there, yeah. It's kind of his ongoing thing with a lot of different YouTubers, and a lot of YouTubers behaving badly, but nothing really appears to happen to them. But I mean, that's not really my business. I don't know if it's an ongoing feud, but he seems to have this ongoing joke with some of these people, which is fine. I do feel like there are some YouTubers that are too big for their britches, you know. They get so big and powerful, it's almost like they can do whatever they want, practically get away with murder. But I mean, that's, you know, whatever. I mean, I don't run this platform. I don't control any of that. Yeah. And I'm not a super big YouTuber. I think there's a lot of YouTubers have been here like forever. They're practically the gods of the YouTube space. And I you know, some of you may not, well, if you look up, I think, the Teddy Rubskin archives, you know, Teddy Rubskin was a major YouTuber. He kind of does live streams now. I've actually been in his live stream, and he has actually talked to me. Well, nah, he's sent me a message. I haven't officially talked to him or not. I'm actually in one of his videos, I believe. So if you know Teddy Rubskin, you've probably seen my face. Of course, that was back when I was in West Virginia. A little bit younger and, of course, in a different setting. As you can see, my room isn't really all that big. You know, my room's not particularly big. Yeah, I've got a lot of games and a lot of setup here. Trying to figure out where everything goes, because I had a whole other extra room in West Virginia. Here I've got this one room. I've got the bad cats to keep me company. I'm a cat person. I would like to have a dog, but we live right next to the road, so I don't particularly. The cats, knock on wood, thankfully, if not, don't go in the road, because we have a whole backyard. They can go way out to the river here. Well, I think that there's a lot of YouTubers out there that just make a lot of money for YouTube, and YouTube just isn't sure really how to deal with it. Well, I mean, anything doing with YouTube or digital things or online stuff is that there's not a lot of laws that have been made. I've heard about YouTubers getting swatted or something, and I'm just like, that's not cool. It's not funny to do that. I've heard some people have actually gotten killed because of this. Well, they call the SWAT team and have the police show up, and a confusing situation. I've heard someone got shot, someone got killed, and then they think it's a joke. A lot of times it happens. You could be just talking to someone online, you tick them off, and then they decide to do something. Thankfully, I have not experienced, somebody trying to harass me or say I'm terrible or something. I think I'd like to think online that if someone tries to tick me off, I'm just going to not really pay attention to them. Because a lot of these people, it's like, a lot of these people like to pick at people and try to make them angry and have them say crazy stuff, and then you look like the bad guy because, and then of course they can record. Like, some people say stuff they don't mean, so, yeah. A lot of YouTubers, maybe they push things a little too much. I love James Rolfe and the Angry Video Game Nerd. I mean, I remember watching a lot of his videos. I remember there were days where I couldn't get to work because it was snowing, and I would just sit and watch his videos, and I loved watching them. I still like him. I'm aware that, he's got a family, he's got kids, he's got a wife, and I understand a lot of these YouTubers, someone goes after your family, you have a right to be pissed. But you have to still be careful about what you say, because they'll try to say, oh, well, you're the crazy one, because, yeah, I mean, it is scary if someone's threatening you, and everyone reacts differently to being threatened. So it's like, yeah. I think it's just not really cool. I don't think it is. And I don't want to criticize any YouTubers on here. I know, of course, we had, there was issues with ProJared. Some of that was laid to rest, but I know that his reputation was definitely a lot different, I believe. I still like him. I don't want to get in this drama and claim, because I don't know what's going on. I mean, I see these people, channels with tax filings and everything, whatever. That's not me to decide. I do think that Gerard the Completionist, I don't know, maybe you're going to be watching this video or whatever. I don't hate your guts. I'm not going to make a decision, but, you really need to come out here and tell us what the hell happened. What the hell is what the heck is going on? Because, he owes it, you owe it to a lot of your people to explain what's going on with this. Well, and having a family member with dementia is, well, it's quite terrible. And it was cool to think that maybe someone was trying to do something, but it makes me angry that someone kind of uses that to get, I do all these charities and everything. I'm not ragging on him. There's something we don't know about. He needs to come out and explain this. He owes it to a lot of people. I think he owes it to a lot of people that aren't here anymore, that he knew that were affected by this. I would assume he somewhat has a feeling about dealing with that. But, I don't know what's going on. But I know, Gerard, that you need to come out and explain what the hell is going on, because I don't know. It's like, he comes back to YouTube. He's on YouTube. I mean, and then a lot of times we just have to accept that, if what he did was probably morally wrong. I don't know if it was legally wrong or if he's in any trouble. Yeah, I mean, I would like that he comes out and publicly, you come out publicly, Gerard, and tell us what's going on, because I think you owe it to a lot of people. And I'm not saying you're guilty or whatever. I'd like to hear his side of the story, like the full explanation. Not weird conversations that he can claim never happened, or people purposely going after him. I don't know. Yeah, well, I'm not perfect either. I'm human, make mistakes, crazy things, but I try not to have that drama come on here. As you can see, I'm rather emotional about the Gerard thing, but whatever. Maybe we don't know what's going on. I really don't know. I've liked Gerard for a long time. I've watched a lot of his videos, The Completion List. I think he must be kind of crazy to do that. It's pretty crazy. But it's... See those videos of him with a smile on his face. And did he know what was going on? And there's no way he could not have known what was going on. But whatever, that's the IRS, the government. It's not my business. Yeah. Well, and then Teddy Ruxpin was one of the major YouTubers I looked at, too. Yeah. Well, I remember his main channel got taken down because of just some copyright thing with Bible Man or whatever. No giant controversy with him. He was just a regular person like me. I know he does the puppet bear thing. I've watched Arlo videos. Arlo, the kind of blue, well, probably not Muppet. I don't think he likes to be called that, but I mean, wow. I mean, has he thought to do puppetry work? Because, wow. He almost seems like something I would see on Sesame Street. He's very good at doing that. And I don't know if you see him if you can actually see who he is, because I remember Teddy Ruxpin, you see the bear. You never see him. Some people say they've seen him and they try to talk to him, but he talks to people through the bear or whatever, which is cool, whatever. I mean, I wish maybe one day I could actually talk to Teddy Ruxpin, like, live on YouTube maybe, or some way. It would be kind of interesting, because I remember he got me into, because well, a lot of YouTubers, there was a lot of them that got me into it. But I know Teddy really got me into the Saturn and stuff. The backup unlocker and stuff. I've talked about that before. Yeah, being able to play burned games. Yeah, I've heard rumors that burned games might hurt the console. Maybe harder for the laser to read, but I haven't had any issues yet. My Sega CD that I got, that functions good. Yeah, I mean, I got the Mad Dog McGree, and I saw the video that Teddy did. It said, don't play this game. But I know, I figured it out. It is really pixelated. I know we got a collection that had, I think we had a Genesis Mini that had some Sega CD games, and a lot of the games suffer from that problem. Everything's kind of looks really pixelated what they do. Full motion video or something. They were kind of lazily done. I felt like someone could have enhanced these. Even gave us better video by shrinking it. Like, I've played games like the first Terminator game based on the movie, and there's scenes from the movie, but they're very hard to look at because it's all pixelated. And maybe you can get it to look better on the, maybe you can get it to look better on retro type TVs. I even tried doing scanline options, and well, classic televisions had scanlines, so a lot of these consoles and these games were designed around that. So, which is why they're not really technically compatible with modern televisions. And I've spent a lot of money trying to make them all work on that television, and it has paid off to the most point. But yeah. I'm trying to get light gun games. Trying to find light guns because a lot of these light guns are like $80, and I'm like, I don't know about that. But yeah, anyway. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys had a good Thanksgiving. I hope you like and subscribe. Yeah, as you can see, I can get very wound up about certain topics. So, yeah, I'm kind of like almost calling him out that he has to come out and say what the heck is going on because he owes this to people. I know I haven't donated money to these things because I have a trust issue like some people do. Anyway. Oh yeah, by the time this video is up, it's probably going to be Monday. I'm probably going to be back to work. I have to get up kind of early to go to work, so... Wah. Yeah, work. I don't pay bills, and... Yeah. Well, I also have problems with my car, so... I'm sure maybe I said that at the beginning of the video, but... Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't mean to drag this on, but yeah, I've had some car issues... Check engine light. I don't know what's going on. I've got 185,000 miles on it. So it's a 2016. So Hyundai. It's got all the bells and whistles, if you know what I mean. Like a Sonata Limited. It's kind of a spiffy version of the car. It's red, kind of a spiffy car. But I'll do a video about it. It's one of my most biggest things. I'm making payments on it. It's the most expensive thing the most expensive thing I own, pretty much, besides all this other stuff. I probably have thousands of dollars worth of games and peripherals. So, yeah, anyway. See you guys in the next video. Bye. Oh, bye. See you guys later.